Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Previously, we helped Herlock Sholmes deduce the true intentions of one Eggert Benedict, a complete asshole who was trying to steal a coat and the special music disc inside on someone's orders. And it's quite curious because that music disc bore the name of none other than Magnus McGilded. The coat seems to have been his, deposited here in this pawnbrokery on the very day that he was in the presence of a murder, which was this game's third case. So, what a tangled web this has become. But in the face of all that accusation, Eggert Benedict, he pulled a gun on us, but thankfully we seem to be saved by the arrival of the police, so let's get going. Inspector Gregson. Inspector. That's right, Sunshine. The alarm was raised on one of our dedicated emergency lines. So we got here as fast as we could. Now, what's all this about, hey? Oh, praise be. You're here at last. I was moments away from forfeiting my own life in my very own establishment. No. It would seem you have the upper hand. Yes, I would like to press charges, all of the charges. Right, you lot have got some explaining to do. I don't appreciate being bothered with some petty argy-bargy. Argy-bargy? Oh, that's great. Petty? Mr. Windibank very nearly met with his end. Yeah, by his own gun, as far as I can tell. Oh dear. And the whole of Britain could meet with its end if I don't get to the bottom of the case I'm supposed to be working on. Huh? That's big words. What? What on earth is the case, Inspector? Spare no detail, Gregson. I might have said a little too much. No matter, it's nothing to do with you lot. Anyway, sir, you're going to have to come with me down to the station. But of course, Inspector. Uh-oh. He's getting away? He's running for it? Get after him, lads. Whistle the beat officer, too. Sir. Uh-oh. He pirouetted off the handle. There's been a spate of thefts at pawn shops around here recently, so we fitted emergency buttons underneath the counters for brokers to let us know when there's trouble. Oh, Inspector, I was very worried there for a while. Very worried indeed. Now then, Mr. Permanently in Mournin'. Oh, yes? Why did Ryunosuke think that was... He really thought that was referring to him, huh? I'll be taking that whatever it is of McGilded's down to the yard, thank you very much. How much of this did he listen to? This being the great deduction. Huh. So, hand it over. Oh, yes, of course. No, don't give it to him. It's mine, that is, mine. I'm sorry, miss, but anything belonging to McGilded has to be taken in as evidence now. As evidence? If the police demand something as evidence, my dear fellow, we have no choice but to capitulate. It's all yours, Inspector. Ah. And so we handed Mr. McGilded's disc over to Inspector Gregson, and were summarily turfed out of the shop and onto the street. I never got to finish looking around. Come on, man. Oh. My curiosity, though. I wanted to see the funny dialogue. Oh well, maybe in another life. I will not save. See? That's why I ate grown-ups. All they do is feed you a pack of lies and take stuff away from you. Oh really, Miss Lestrade? Tell me, is that overcoat keeping you warm? What? Oh my! Surely you were given that? Yeah, the D let me keep it, after I looked daggers at him for long enough. He went through the pockets and then said, "Go on then, have it," before telling me to scarp her. Always pays off giving people a look like you ate them. I can't help feeling that it's going to get you into serious trouble one day. What I really wanted was that nice shiny disc, mind. The music box disc. But Mr. Windibank said it was practically worthless. I think I'm gonna go and have another bash. Give him a long, hard stare. I think not, Miss Lestrade. We shan't enter Windibanks again today. Why not? That's not fair. It can't be helped, I'm afraid. The police are investigating the scene now and taking a statement from Mr. Windibank. But that disc's mine. I had the ticket for this coat and it was in this coat's pocket. And there should be something else and all. That's what that rotten cove said, ain't it? Yes, he did mention something about another article, didn't he? Well then, that's mine too, whatever it is. Now she's really pushing her luck. Miss Lestrade, I think it's time to admit defeat. You've had your haul for the day. Yeah, and it's all your fault, Sholmes. So, what are your plans now? Will you dine with us this evening? Huh? Iris would be delighted to cook, I'm sure, and I might entertain you with a modest violin recital. No, Ta. Oh. Why would I come round your place, eh? Have you lost your head or something? Oh, there she goes. Oh dear, she's gone. Huh. Having reviled on me quite unnecessarily, I might add. I can't help wondering if perhaps she might turn up anyway. Interesting. Once she's had a chance to calm down, I think there's a good chance she'll decide to come. Very well then. Yeah, it's so hard to turn down free food. I'll inform Iris to set a place for our potential guest at the dinner table this evening. And one more thing. I should be glad of your company later too. Sorry? I believe I will have a rather splendid surprise to show you. Oh, how exciting! What is it? You shall have to wait and see, Miss Usato. Until later, then. Well, sure. Huh. Nothing of note to see, really. So I guess we'll move. Huh. I want to say checking in with Iris will be what we want to do next, so let's try out the legal consultancy. Yeah, anything new to say? No! Interesting. Alright then. Yeah, nothing new to look at here either, so sure, let's go check in with Iris. It would be really funny if Gina's already there. Ah, Susie and Bruno, come in, come in. Good afternoon, Iris. Thank you so much for breakfast this morning. Oh, don't mention it. Goodness, look at the time already. Busy as always?
I am. I'm preparing everything for dinner this evening.
Already? You're obviously cooking something special, are you?
Oh yes, after all, we have a special guest joining us. Guess who it is? Go on. You'll never guess.
Look at those little eyes of her shining.
Oh dear. It is awkward when you already know the answer, isn't it? It's Ginny! Isn't that exciting? Oh, what a surprise! Yes, that's wonderful news.
Wow, Iris seems overjoyed at the idea.
I can't wait to learn some pickpocketing tips from a real professional.
Oh, brother. Oh, yes, that does sound like fun.
I'm not sure that's entirely appropriate, are you, Mr. Naruhodo? Not entirely appropriate, are you, Mr. Naruhodo?
By the way, Iris, what's Mr. Sholmes up to? Dodge the question. Oh.
Hurley? Oh, he's been like that ever since he got back.
Hello, Mr. Sholmes. I beg that you won't speak to me. Sorry? I don't know who you are, but kindly take your leave. As you can see, I'm not here. But didn't he get his muse back? I don't know how to respond to that.
I do apologize. When he gets like this, he's completely oblivious to everything.
Yes, I see. Oh, don't tell me Gina stole something from him. I wouldn't put it past her.
Really, he behaves like such a child at times. Hurley does. Mr. Sholmes and Iris have something of a parent and child relationship, don't they?
Yes, except that Iris is clearly the parent here. Come to think of it, I wonder where her real parents are. Oh god, I knew this was coming at some point. Here we go.
What's the matter, Runo? You have ever such a funny look on your face.
Oh, no, it's nothing.
I know what it is. Why does this girl live here with Mr. Sholmes, you're wondering, am I right?
How? How did you...
Oh, Runo, I can read you like a book.
This girl is dangerous.
Don't worry, you can ask me anything, I won't mind.
Huh. Well, first... Hello? So, Mr. Sholmes, what are you so engrossed in? Did you not hear? I am not here. Of course you're not. I cannot think quite a whole bed of the ocean is not one solid mass of oysters, so prolific the creatures seem. What? He won't even turn around and look at me.
It's best just to leave him alone when he's in one of his moods like this.
Yes, I can see that. Now this really is Mr. Sholmes' faithful performing partner then. The Stravidar, the Strapiscar, the Scrapifarius. No, it's no good, it's gone. The virtuoso's violin that he found in a pawnbroker's and managed to buy for next to nothing.
After all we went through to get it back, he's just cast it aside on that chair. I was looking forward to hearing the beautiful sound it makes when Mr. Sholmes plays it.
It does look rather sorry for itself there, doesn't it? Although, at least Wagahai hasn't attacked it yet, even if his eyes are saying it's only a matter of time. Where is the kitty? I want to see the kitty cat. So, Iris, any thoughts on the armband? Would you mind if I showed you this, Iris? It's just a boring old thing, really, but...
Oh, I don't really like boring things.
Ah, looks like Japanese modesty is easily misinterpreted by young Western children.
I mean, who does like boring things? No one wants to be shown something boring.
Dude, if you showed me a cool rock, I would flip out.
Come to think of it, you're always introducing things with, "This is boring, but it's a bad habit. You should stop it."
I'll be sure to let the entire population of the Empire of Japan know on my return. Huh, I wonder if that really is a thing. Probably is. So, by Ginny, you mean Miss Lestrade, the young woman from the Gilded case 2 months ago, right?
Yes, who also stole my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Although, after that trial, I invited her back here and we had dinner together. And now we're the best of friends. Oh, what a lovely tale. Yes, now if I bump into her on the street, she runs away as fast as she can. Oh. And I chase after her down the back alleys.
Interesting idea of friendship.
And then I let her have the latest color of smoke grenade I've developed.
Oh.
There are so many beautiful colors in the world. Ginny wants me to make a whole rainbow.
I suppose this means you've let Miss Lestrade keep the smoke grenade launcher, have you?
Yes, that's right. I'd got bored of it anyway. Hurley always reacts the same way when I shoot him with it now.
Poor Hurley.
Oh, I can't wait for Ginny to arrive. It's been too long since she last came over. I'm so excited.
I just hope she does actually come.
I'm sure you've been wondering why it is that I live here with Hurley, haven't you?
Well, it has crossed my mind. That and where are your real parents?
My mommy and daddy aren't with me anymore.
Sudden mood change.
Mommy passed away when I was born. And at around the same time, my father... Well, he had to go to a faraway land because of one of the cases he and Hurley were working on.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Wait a minute. Did you say he and Hurley?
Yes. Daddy and Hurley were always solving mysterious cases together.
Huh. So Herlock has been to Japan. Interesting. She didn't mention that before.
He wrote them all up in his diaries. That's what's in the metal chest over there.
Oh. Really? He recorded them all?
So, you mean it's true? Mr. Sholmes really did have a partner with whom he tackled some of his most taxing cases? Oh yes, I mean, it's always nice to have one, isn't it?
So Mr. Sholmes' partner was your father?
Exactly.
Oh my god, I'm just now noticing the little charms on her backpack. It looks like a rabbit, Herlock Sholmes, and I can't even tell what that is, but it's clearly her. Oh, that's cute.
Hurley told me I wasn't allowed to look in the chest. But that only made me want to look even more, so I opened it up. And found your father's memoirs. Yes, so I asked Hurley, who wrote these? He nearly fell off his chair. But then he told me. That's when I found out that the author of all those accounts was my father.
So Iris's father was Mr. Sholmes' partner. Time for the shoe to drop.
I've practically lived with Hurley all my life. I was tiny when he took me in.
It is a wonder she has survived.
So it came as quite a shock. When Hurley told me he wasn't really my daddy, I mean.
It must have done.
I wonder why Mr. Sholmes chose to tell you, and at such a young age. Hurley says it's because he wouldn't have been able to hide it from me. Oh? Well, having lived with Hurley all these years, you might say that his ways have rubbed off on me. There are some things I can just see. Especially lies. I must know when people are lying before they open their mouths sometimes.
Right.
Anyway, I was so fascinated when I read Daddy's diaries. That's what inspired me to write The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, actually. I'd always assumed Mr. Sholmes simply told you all those thrilling stories. Oh no, Hurley's hopeless like that. He forgets everything. As soon as he solved the case, it all but vanishes from his mind. Oh, I see. The other day, it was so embarrassing. As usual, he totally forgot about the case he just solved. So the very next day, he gathered together all the people involved and proceeded to solve the case again. It was quite a shock for everyone.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that. You can say that again.
You share your father's surname, don't you, Iris? That's right, Wilson. Daddy is Dr. John H. Wilson.
Whoop, there it is.
I learned from his diaries that he's a doctor of medicine, you see. That's what prompted me to study and study so that I could earn a doctorate as well.
Iris's father, who went to some distant land, and is a doctor by the name of John H. Wilson? The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. That's right. Visiting professor of medicine at Imperial Yume University. And the man who, in the most bizarre of circumstances, lost his life just before we left Japan. Miss Usato.
Yes.
Perhaps we should pursue this conversation any further. We shouldn't pursue this conversation any further at this time.
I think that would be for the best.
Ah, my dear fellows, how good to see you. Oh, look who's back at the land of the living.
Eek! Mr. Sholmes.
Why ever did you not make your presence known to me before? No comment. Well, no matter now. So, how the devil are you? We've been with you for most of the day. Goodness, really?
Do tell me, Mr. Sholmes, is your violin unscathed?
My violin? Whatever you talking about, dear madame?
Oh,
Never mind that now. I have something far more interesting to show you. Behold, my dear fellows.
Oh, another music box disc.
No, not another disc, Miss Susato. This is the one Gregson demanded we hand over as evidence, Mr. McGilded's disc. Oh, you sly fox.
Oh my.
Then what's it doing here? You know, at times, Mr. Naruhodo, I think that though I have an undeniable turn for detection, I may well be even more adept at larceny.
Oh, that would be wonderfully exciting. I'd be your pickpocketing assistant.
She is channeling the Yatagarasu right now. Holy crap.
And Runo could be our go-to lawyer if we ever got caught.
Right.
Plus, Susie has such beautiful handwriting, she could write all our menacing crime notifications. Yes, I'd be delighted.
I'm just going to pretend this conversation never happened, I think. Huh. Yeah, I don't imagine he has something new to say about that. Let's just talk to him. I don't understand. How did that disc come to be in your possession? I thought Inspector Gregson took it back to Scotland Yard. Quite correct. And that sort of uncompromising attitude is precisely why I always carry some of this.
That's a bar of caramel, Mr. Sholmes.
Your one and only friend in times of loneliness, if I'm not mistaken. If you will humor me, my dear fellows, cast your minds back to when the good detective confiscated the disc. I'll be taking whatever it is of McGilda's down to the yard, thank you very much. So hand it over. Oh, yes, of course. If the police demand something as evidence, my dear fellow, we have no choice but to capitulate. It's all yours, Inspector. For the briefest of moments, I had the disc in my hand, did I not? Yes, you did, but I still don't understand. It was at precisely the moment that I summoned my one and only friend into action. I pressed the disc into a pair of bars, like this. That's amazing! The disc and all the minuscule protrusions have made an image in the caramel. Indeed, this caramel is quite exceptional. I developed it myself, you know. Yeah, I thought I saw his name on the branding. Suitably soft for making impressions, but resistant to melting, the result of a precisely controlled solution.
How extraordinary!
Carrying a pair of these on one's person frequently proves very useful indeed. Take a house key, for example. A simple press and its unique form is duplicated. I can enter anyone's property at will, and never without high sucrose nourishment. Yes, it sounds illegal. From the image, I was able to create this. I confess I was most curious to know what manner of music would issue from the disc when played. So we made a copy. Fascinating.
Do tell us then, Mr. Sholmes. What music does the disc play?
Well, unfortunately I have no idea. No idea? None whatsoever. Are you familiar with the workings of a music box, my dear fellows? No, I'm afraid not.
Goodness, you don't know, Runo? Inside a music box, there's a special metal piece called a comb. That's what produces the sound. Small protuberances pluck the different teeth of the comb as they rotate past it, making the different notes. The first music boxes to be invented used a rotating cylinder with protuberances on it.
I have 3 of those on my bookshelf. I think I said that earlier. But over time, a new type of player was produced which uses discs such as these. Oh, and in recent memory, those little cylindrical music boxes that are like tiny and handheld, a few of them appeared in Pikmin 4, a recent Nintendo game. It was very funny to see them. They looked identical to the ones I own, actually, so it was very trippy to have my Pikmin just pick them up and carry them off to my ship. And speaking of the the music melodies that they play was the Song of Storms from The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and I was so jealous. I was like, why don't I have one of those? That's so cool. I forget what the other tune was. I want to say it was something Super Mario, maybe. With that development, the popularity of music boxes spread far and wide, all around the globe.
Why exactly?
Because the discs are easy to produce and can be interchanged to facilitate the playing of different tunes. There are a great many firms in Europe now manufacturing music boxes as a result.
It is wonderful to be able to enjoy music even when no performer is present.
But it is the very success of the invention that means we are now presented with an insurmountable problem. What do you mean? As you may imagine, the construction of one firm's music box does not match that of another. And we have no way of knowing in which music box this particular disc was designed to be played. There is no resolution to this problem, I'm afraid. It's quite intractable. Ah, I see. So that's why. Naturally, I tested the disc in those few music boxes I have at my disposal. But as you can hear, to no avail. The results were equally unsatisfactory in this one. So, I am presently engaged in acquiring an example of all the music boxes ever made in Europe.
Every single one? That's Hurley for you, always taking things too far.
But, my dear girl, an unsolved riddle is quite repugnant to my constitution. But surely all the different types in Europe will amount to a huge volume of music boxes, won't it? Yes, that is certainly true. In the worst case, I shall just have to ask you to vacate the attic room.
What?
Huh. Magnus McGilded. Not a name I expected to hear again so soon. Yes, it's only been 2 months since that grisly case. Mr. McGilded perished within hours of the trial's conclusion. I might be about to sound like an idiot, but did Van Zieks always have a scar right there on his face? I'm not sure if I noticed that before. Huh. I wonder what it's from. Was it the Curse of the Reaper? No one knows, still now. The omnibus was reduced to a pile of ash. Not a shred of evidence remained. And with the man's death, the truth about the murder in which he was so intimately involved was buried. Even though we successfully established Mr. McGilded's innocence in the trial,
the newspapers are still claiming that it remains an unsolved case.
I looked at this man's face. Mason. The blonde hair, the way that strand of hair is curling downwards. He looks so similar to Gina. Was Mr. Mason Gina Lestrade's father? I could see that being the case. Like the two both wear a green vest over a white shirt and they have patchy, ragged clothes. Huh. The murder of the brickmaker, Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. In the end, the truth of the matter remains a mystery. We still have no idea what really happened that night. And although Mr. McGolded was found not guilty through my defense, I still don't know if that was the right judgment or not. It would appear the case is not yet closed.
Well, it's time I started getting things ready for dinner, I think. Ginny will be here before long.
Thank you, Iris.
Oh, well, you must let me help you then. Of course, Susie. There's plenty to do.
I think I shall investigate the condition of my faithful performing partner. Now then, where did I leave it? Let this be a lesson to you, Mr. Sholmes. Never leave anything too precious with the pawnbroker. Ah, yes, you may be right.
Oh, that reminds me of something Mr. Windermere sent before. He said that he had a manuscript of Iris's in pawn, didn't he?
Did he? Yes, he definitely mentioned it. Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom, were his words, I believe.
So you heard about that, did you? I expect you were as incensed as I was. Oh, yes, the idea of such a wonderful story languishing in Mr. Windermere's storeroom, gathering dust.
Wasn't it in a vault? I don't think it can gather dust that way. My dear madame, I'm quite sure I told you already. The pawnbroker's storeroom is the safest place for it, more secure than a bank's vault.
And what about your Stradivarius, Hurley? Was that safe and secure?
Well, there may be the occasional mix-up, caused by a certain impetuous someone not too far from me now.
Do you have any idea how long it took me to write that Baskerville story, Hurley?
Whoa! Whoa! Excuse me. This case we're in right now is supposed to be about the Hound of Baskervilles. What do you mean it's already happened and been concluded? What?
Oh, it sounds so exciting. The Hound of the Baskervilles. I should love to read it.
How did she know it was called The Hound? Hold on. Write that Baskerville story. Where did Susato just get The Hound?
Ah.
What's going on here? Why does it feel like an icy chill just swept through the room?
Susie, what did you just say? You said The Hound of the Baskervilles. But how could you know the full title? Well, that's
because Miss Susato is such a great fan of all the stories about Mr. Sholmes, of course.
But Runo, the Hound of the Baskervilles, has never been published.
What?
When I showed Hurley the manuscript, he told me that I wasn't allowed to publish it yet.
I don't understand.
That's why he said that he'd keep it safe. Until it was the right time for the story to be made public, you see?
So that's why the manuscript is at Windibank's.
And yet, how could Susie here know its title? Well, Hurley, what's going on?
Ah. What is it, Mr. Sholmes? It would appear our guest has arrived. Did she come in through the window? Hold on. How'd she get over there? Miss Lestrade.
This was a bad idea. I knew I weren't welcome. I'm going.
No, wait, Miss Lestrade. We've all been eagerly awaiting your arrival. Haven't we, Iris?
Oh yes, just wait there, Ginny. We'll have everything ready in a jiffy.
Well, let's just sweep all this under the rug for the time being.
Come along, Susie. Right, of course. It's a pleasure to see you here, Miss Lestrade. Please make yourself at home.
Don't stand in the doorway, my dear girl. Come on in. What say you to some Mendelssohn? I won't take no for an answer. Meddlesome it is, then. Kitty, yeah! Meow! That evening, Iris prepared us all a meal that was even more delicious than usual. Mr. Sholmes' violin performance was in no way meddlesome, and Gina, as we came to call her, taught us all how to steal things from one another without being noticed. Everyone thoroughly enjoyed themselves well into the night. Oh, that's lovely. It was a very enjoyable evening, wasn't it?
Oh yes, Iris's cooking was truly divine.
And I feel as though I can still hear the enchanting strains of Mr. Sholmes' violin even now.
Best of all, I bet I could steal the glasses from his lordship's face next time we're in court. Naruhodo-san, could I consult with you about something, I wonder?
What's the matter, Susato-san?
It's about the telegram I received.
Oh, right! I forgot about all that. Ah. The one that arrived first thing this morning, I suppose.
I've been summoned.
Yeah, I figured. What? Summoned? What do you mean?
The telegram was from the Lord Chief Justice's office. Lord Strongheart has asked to see me.
Oh. Oh, I was expecting summoned back to Japan. Oh. The Lord Chief Justice? When?
Tomorrow morning.
What? Then we have to start preparing at once.
Oh, no, that won't be necessary, Naruhodo-san. I've been summoned alone.
Alone? What on earth for?
I have no idea. I suppose I shall find out tomorrow.
What's all this about? Whatever it is, it's making me feel very uneasy. Oh, who could that be, I wonder?
Good evening, friends.
Ah, Iris. Hello again.
And Gina, too. Yes, Jeannie's going to stay with us tonight. She's going to sleep in with me. Isn't that right, Ginny? Well, yeah. How lovely. Let me make a pot of tea. You know, I've learned so much today. Oh, what in particular? All those things Ginny showed us, wasn't it wonderful?
Ah, you mean all those pickpocketing techniques. We had fun trying them out on each other, didn't we?
I think I've awakened a natural talent. I could earn a living from it.
You might be getting ahead of yourself a little there. So, what brings you up to our humble quarters at this late hour?
Well, you see, I came to return this.
Wait, what? That's mine!
Oh my, however did you? I told you, didn't I?
I wonder if I had bothered to check the court record if it was actually gone from my inventory. I bet it was. Actually... Oh, well, maybe it's already been returned.
I have a natural talent for it.
Oh yes, I'd forgotten. Iris literally is a child genius.
So anyway, here, you can have it back. Not that I really understand why you wear it, though.
Ah, thank you.
Alright then, good night.
Yes, good night.
Huh. So this is your office, is it? What do you think, Ginny? I think I wouldn't fancy me chances with a lawyer what lives in a place like this. Yes, me too. Ha 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 ha.
It seems as though Iris here still has something she'd like to talk about.
I suppose she probably wants to talk about the manuscript.
Yes, I suppose she probably does. Whew. Anything to see here? Might be new stuff.
Bruno, what are you doing? Look, I'm not gonna steal nothing, alright? It's all junk anyway.
Charming. I suppose I should engage our guest in conversation, really. Fair enough.
Iris, I suppose you're hoping to talk about the manuscript, aren't you? Aren't you going to tell me? I'm so sorry. I need a little more time, please. Alright, I understand. I hope I haven't made you feel awkward. Oh no, not at all, Iris, not at all. I don't know what all this is about, really, but... It's a story you made up, is it, Iris? This mantle script, or whatever you call it? It's not exactly a story that I made up. It's something I read in Daddy's diaries. Daddy's... That's right. I don't suppose I've mentioned it to you before, Ginny, but... My daddy was Hurley's assistant once, his partner. Huh? They solved all sorts of strange and mysterious cases together. Is that right, mister?
Apparently so. I was surprised as you are, though.
And Daddy wrote all the details of every single case down, you see, in his diaries. So I study them and write in my stories based on what actually happened. So, where's your old man now, then? He had to go away on urgent business to a faraway land, and he'll be gone for a very long time. So, I've never really met him. Oh, right.
Come to think of it, I don't know anything about Gina's parents either. Perhaps we should ask her. Iris, this Hound of the Baskervilles story. I take it that it's another tale inspired by your father's accounts.
That's right. I thought it was fascinating. But it's different somehow from the other cases, I mean.
Oh? How?
I don't really know, but it must be special in some way. Because after I'd written it and I showed the manuscript to Hurley, he turned as white as a sheet. It was the first time I've ever seen him like that.
It pains me to have to say this after you've toiled over it for so long, Iris. But this story must not be published at this time, under any circumstances.
But why not? It's one of my best works.
I'm not at liberty to say, not now, so please do not ask me.
All right then, I won't.
But I do solemnly swear that I will explain everything one day, Iris, when the time is right. And that's how the manuscript came to be with Mr. Windibank, isn't it?
Yes. Hurley said it had to be somewhere very safe. That really gets my goat, that does. He's treating you like a child. It's mean, that's what it is, keeping secrets like that.
I'm sure Mr. Sholmes isn't trying to be mean.
Huh?
If he said he wasn't at liberty to talk about it, I'm sure there must have been a very good reason.
I think so too. Ugh, you lot are too trusting for your own good. But he can't pull the wool over my eyes. Sholmes is lying to Iris, I bet my life on it.
What?
Hurley's lying to me?
Huh. Alright, Gina, let's see what you have to say. I've realized that I don't know anything about your parents, Gina.
I ain't got any, have I? Never did have. Oh. Look, the East Stand's full of orphans like me. No one wants nothing to do with us from the minute we're born, not even our mums. But we all stick together. The older ones look after the little ones and make sure they get by. So that's why you're a pickpocket. Nah, diving's my life. I love it. I get a kick out of it every time I lift some pompous idiot's purse. And that's how we all afford to eat. I'm like Robin Hood, ain't I? That's how I see it. Oh, Gina. I do think about it sometimes. What it'd be like to have parents, I mean. I always thought it'd make everything right. But having listened to what Iris just said, it sounds like having parents ain't always easy either. Oh. I mean, if you know you never had them, you don't feel like you always wanted to meet them. It's true. I do want to see Daddy so much. Oh, Iris.
Let's not talk about that. Ever. Gina, what did you mean when you said that you know Mr. Sholmes is lying to Iris?
Well, he reckons he popped that manuscript or whatever, right? But come on, that's obviously a load of rubbish. Oh my, why would you think that, Gina? It's simple. If that story was really in old Windibank's storeroom, there's no way someone from halfway around the world, in other words, you, could know about it. Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling you. But Hurley would never do something like that, I'm sure of it. Grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Bare-faced liars, the lot of them. You just ain't realized it yet. I'm telling you, that manuscript ain't at Windibank's. You'd soon see if you had a look. Even if you think you can trust him, I don't. That Sholmes is a liar like the rest of them. If I'm honest, I have wondered if Hurley's telling me the truth sometimes. See? Oh, but I don't mean that he think he sold it. I mean that I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to doubt him.
Don't be too hard on yourself, Iris.
Oh my goodness, look at the time. Come along, Ginny, we should go back downstairs.
Yeah, alright.
And please, don't mention any of this to Hurley, will you?
No, of course not. Good night then, Iris. Good night, Gina.
You must let me make breakfast for you tomorrow morning, I insist. Oh, yes, please. I can't wait, Susie. Good night, then.
Iris, it sure is easy to forget, isn't it? Sometimes she speaks just like an adult, but deep down, she's still just a child.
Well, I think it's time that I turned in for the night too, Naruhodo-san.
Dr. John H. Wilson, Iris's father, but also the name of the murdered visiting professor at Yume University. It can't be a mere coincidence. There's something deeper going on. Maybe this case will see Giselle Brett brought to justice. That'd be nice.
Mr. Naruhodo? Mr. Naruhodo.
That voice. That's Mr. Sholmes. Oh, well, I was completely wrong. What's going on? It's the middle of the night. It's Miss Lestrade. She's gone. Gina? She was supposed to be sleeping in Iris's room, but her bed is empty. Well, she's an independent young woman. She's probably decided to go home, no? I think not. From speaking to her before she retired, I received the distinct impression that she was looking forward to breakfasting with Miss Susato. No, I don't believe the girl has gone home, but I've been waiting for over an hour now. Over an hour? Oh. If you'll indulge me, look out of the window, my dear fellow. What's this about? Wait a minute. Why is there a light on at this time of night? That's Mr. Windibank's pawnbrokery. Mr. Windibank's. Oh no.
It's simple. If that story was really in old Windibank's storeroom, there's no way someone from halfway around the world, in other words, you, could know about it. Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling you. Could Gina have gone... It seems you have some knowledge of the situation, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? Oh, no, not really. Well, anyway, we must investigate. At once. Oh. Miss Usato. Well, trouble in paradise. The door to Windibank's, it's open. Wow. Out of nowhere. So much drama. Oh man. It's kind of startling just how much conflict has arisen between these group of 4 people. Ryunosuke, Susato, Sholmes, and what's her name? Tina? No, not Gina. Iris, yeah. That's not a bit. I legitimately forgot her name. Yeah, we just almost spent the entire game relatively drama-free. Like, sure, every character had their quirks and funny bits, and there were times where both Susato and Herlock Sholmes thought Ryunosuke was a murderer, but by and large, everyone's been friendly and hunky-dory with each other. What an interesting development. I really like this, though. I may have earlier theorized that there was a conspiracy at play that went all the way to the top. I'm still thinking that, Emil Strongheart is some sort of evil mastermind, the game's final boss, and nothing that I've seen so far has dissuaded me from that theory. But boy... I'm beginning to think that everything might be connected. The murder of John H. Wilson may very well have been an assassination. And if that's true, then Giselle Brett and so many others might be part of some conspiracy at play. And who knows, maybe that fleeing Russian war criminal or whatever that the ice skater was confused for initially might play into it too. Like, I'm getting the sense that this game might be about to bring every plot point together, even plot points I once dismissed as being entirely done and over with. Like, look no further than my newfound suspicion that Mr. Mason was Gina's father, but, I mean, Gina did just say that she was an orphan and had no idea who her parents were. But she could be lying. She's absolutely the sort to lie. There's no telling what McGilded said to her when they were alone together after the murder happened in that omnibus. And I swear, I know hairstyles aren't genetic, but in anime sometimes they are. Mr. Mason has the same kind of droopy hair going down the right of his face, just like Gina Lestrade.
Mr. Mason, I mean, not Mr. Lestrade. And the mystery of the Hound of the Baskervilles. What is going on? At first I was thinking that Sherlock Sholmes didn't want it published because it might be embarrassing, but no, I think he's privy to some sort of knowledge that if the events in the Hound of the Baskervilles became public, there would be consequences for that. I feel like a lot of characters have literal daggers at their backs here. And proverbial at the same time. What an interesting scenario. Oh, this fifth case is angling up to be really interesting. Oh god, it just hit me. What if we're about to discover a body in there? I know Olive Green is an outlier. She lived through her knife stabbing in the previous case, but it's Ace Attorney tradition to have a murdered body at the center of a case. Oh, I hope it's not Gina. I kind of hope it's Windibank, though. That'd be nice. Then we couldn't have his horrible, tasteless gag anymore. That'd be swell. I sincerely hope Mr. Windibank is dead now. Oh. It would be really spicy if it was, Mr. Breathmint Man, Benedict. Oh, who knows? I'm just theorizing at this point. But I am excited to see what happens next. Oh, I can't wait. I'm Zephyr the Jester. This has been the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Thank you for watching. Hopefully, I'll catch you next time. So until then, please take care.